The 125s are on the track right now. This is truly a headliner tonight. The matchup between East and West regions started out a Houston-Dallas affair. In 1996, we had as many as 4 shootouts, with Kevin Windham winning 3 of the 4. But beginning last year, the idea of separating the shootout from the regular season title runs meant big purse money and a climactic end to a great season. As we take a look at the Suzuki point standings, you see Carmichael dominating the 125 East, with Raynard, Sellards, Lytle, and Bentley in the top 5. It was a little different over in the West, big time different. John Dowd had to really work hard in winning that last race of the year in the 125 West to beat Villeman. ROCADA a strong third, Ramsay and Pingree in the top 5. So we're getting set now for an interesting situation, David Bailey, as it's a classic veteran versus a teenager.
That's right, the 32-year-old versus the 18-year-old. There's Carmichael. He's the young one. And less experienced, but definitely more aggressive. He's been I think everyone's probably betting on Carmichael to win this matchup, but don't count out John Dowd or ROCADA, who beat John Dowd in the heat race. Those two are going to possibly step up the pace, perhaps pressure Carmichael, and I think under pressure he can still make the mistakes we saw him make last year.
John Dowd, always a sentimental favorite after his very first title anywhere in the pro ranks, winning the 125 West. Both riders are excited about this shootout and talked about their seasons.
I think, no, it hasn't worn off yet, no, not at all. I mean, I'm still kind of, every once in a while that kind of pops in my mind, you know, that I actually, you know, won that thing last week, and it's just, I'm still pretty excited about it. I'm just, every time I think about it like that, I just kind of get a little smile on my face.
He's got a lot of experience on me. He's been in it longer than I have. He's older, so I got to try to, I don't know, put my 1.5 years of experience into his, you know, 10 years of experience. So it's going to be tough, but I think we're both, you know, focused on outdoors. That's a bigger race for us, you know. We both won the championship, so, you know, we're just here for fun.
As we take a look at the starting grid for the 125 shootout now, ROCADA, Carmichael, Dowd, we've mentioned those before, but Brock Sellards, Casey Johnson, Robbie Skaggs, Ryan Huffman, Casey Lytle, Sean Parolio, all kinds of guys in there battling it out as we get set for the start of this exciting frame.
You know, I think Carmichael, even though he's already wrapped up the East title, if he wins here tonight, it will be a perfect season. I don't think that's ever been done.
It's never been done before. A regular season has never been accomplished before either, Marty Reed.
You know, when you have a heavyweight prize fight, you have a tendency to want to watch the competitors before the start of the bout, see what their mannerisms are. What a contrast. ROCADA and Dowd, the two older riders, were the more nervous, constantly moving back and forth, tamping the dirt. They have still been moving, but yet Ricky Carmichael, the 18-year-old, he just sat there stoically watching the last chance race, arms folded, helmet on, straight out, focused, and getting ready to do business. We're ready to go racing, guys.
The
Round one.
Mounts now as the board is sideways. Who will it be? The bragging rights for the 125 season. Ryan Huffman, number 28, gets across the hole shot line the first, and he takes the lead out of the first turn. Skaggs, number 45.
Well, of the favorites we pointed out, Dowd, ROCADA, and Carmichael. Dowd has got the best start, sitting in 4th right now.
Skaggs has to look out for that second spot, because here comes Casey Lytle to the inside. Casey Lytle and the Whoops having his problems. Oh, and they box out.
Here comes Dowd on the outside, not much room, but he knows he's got to get into the lead.
Dowd and Carmichael right there together, really. Carmichael looking at Skaggs as Dowd passes Skaggs. Dowd has to put the brakes on.
This is where you got to really keep your cool. You can end the race right here in this first lap, making it pass too quick. Got to be patient. Dowd has done what he needed to do. He got off to the best start of his toughest competitors, I have to think. What an exciting time for Ryan Huffman and Lytle right now to be leading this thing.
Ryan Huffman, the king of the hole shooters in the West. He had 3 hole shots during the Western action. Lytle also had a good season. Had a quiet 4th place finish in the 125 East. A podium at Indianapolis, the opener. He won at Tampa. A hole shot in a second at Pontiac. Look at this, the bar-to-bar banging action. Dowdy with the number 1 on the blue bike.
Well, I don't know what he's done lately, but he has really stepped up. I mean, he's just doing stuff that you really expect to see McGrath do. And Dowd always seemed like the guy that held back a little bit. He was kind of like a little bit too nice out there. He even said kind of like a lot of times, instead of just being real confident in his pre-race speeches and stuff. But right now, he is aggressive.
Already a 3-second lead for Dowd. Carmichael gets by the block. Carmichael moves into second place. Just went by Huffman and Lytle almost in the same move.
Well, he saw Dowd step it up, and he has answered. Now when Dowd turns around and expects to see a couple guys between himself and Carmichael, he's going to see that number 1 chasing his.
Not exceptionally fast laps, but look out, because Carmichael's going to put the pressure on. John Dowd out in front, became the oldest rider to win a 125 title, beating out Velleman in the 125 Western race. And the week before, he also became the oldest rider to win a 250 main event.
These guys are nervous now. A couple guys going down in the back.
Yes, Lytle is one of them, along with Casey Johnson. As we take a look at the leader, though, on our frame, and that's John Dowd with the 1W. Carmichael is 3 seconds behind with the 1E.
You know, I gotta wonder if John Dowd maybe chatted a little bit with Kevin Windham, who had the same situation where he was in a battle last year with Carmichael and won that battle just by keeping the pressure on. Carmichael went down several times, and he may have been able to lend a couple of words of encouragement to Dowd before this race. And here's what I did, see if it works for you.
Dowdy, tough and strong, a good finisher against the very speedy and oftentimes on the edge, Ricky Carmichael.
Looking nice through there, putting that bike exactly where he wants it, using that front wheel for balance. You turn that front wheel in the air and it's like a gyroscopic motion. You can lean the bike over and position yourself to make the corner a little quicker.
What's going to happen? Dowd is in the lead, Carmichael in second. The 125 shootout. Well, the checkers are just around the corner, and we'll be right back. This is what we've been looking for in the 125 shootout from Las Vegas. John Dowd zipping the whoops. Carmichael having a little more trouble at the tail end of those whoops, David.
Yes, he was, and it's because he's going into him so much faster. You know that by the end, something's going to happen, and he's just got hopefully enough momentum to get him to the end of it before he gets too out of shape. And that last lap are a 52.3, faster than the fastest of the night, faster than the 250s. And that's what this race means. These guys are going all out right now.
Let's go down to Marty Reed, trackside.
Well, that's what I was going to point out, David. The fact that the last 2 laps have been quicker than the 250 heats and the semis. Now, yes, track conditions playing a part, but these guys are stoked and putting it on. Here's another time for you. 52.4. That's the third 52 and low change in a row.
1.5 second lead now. Carmichael has cut that lead down for Dowdy as they go through the whoops. Dowd likes the right side. Carmichael going through the middle.
Well, it's smart for Carmichael to try to figure out a spot where he can go through there fast in a different line than Dowd. In case he gets a run at him, he doesn't have to worry about running into the back of him. That last lap, to turn that lap time, both of them hit one of those tough blocks, knocked it out into the tracks. They're using every inch out there.
John Dowd with 3 wins and 7 career 125 wins. He was 7 for 7 in podiums.
Coming up to the triple around a lapped rider, Casey Johnson, who went down. He gets out of the way. Carmichael is just steadily closing, Art, inch at a time.
Looks like he's calming down a bit.
Well, I think he learned his lesson last year. You know, he knows that this is a 15-lap race, and there's really no point in pushing it until you start getting into the lappers. John Dowd's the kind of guy that can retaliate. If you pass him too early, you give him that opportunity.
It's getting close here with the 125 shootout. Carmichael on the green Kawasaki. He's tied the all-time record for wins in a 125 season with 8. The shootout providing the opportunity to clean the sweep and just take over the record book.
Dowd is the first guy to make a mistake, lose a little bit more time, and it just feels good when you're the guy sitting back there watching and you see the guy in front of you starting to make little mistakes here and there. You feel like this guy's mine.
In the last 4 races, Dowdy has been pressured but hasn't cracked. He's made a few mistakes along the way, but he's been able to hold the lead. But right now, Carmichael triples, Dowd doubles. Carmichael to the outside. Dowdy tries to block it. Carmichael, what a great move.
Not sure why Dowd only went for the double there. Just got his timing a little bit off. Maybe he just missed a gear and he wasn't in the best power band to go for it. Figured he better be safe. But he just gave it to Carmichael right there. He tried to get him back in the corner and take away the line, but Carmichael was too crafty for it.
So Ricky Carmichael now in great position to go for the 125 season sweep. We're at the halfway point of the 125 shootout in Las Vegas.
Now what we got is lapped riders. They will play a part, especially through the whoop section. What Dowd has to do, though, is stay close. I talked about, I feel like Carmichael still has that built-in reflex that he wants to just go as fast as it's going to take. And if you can push him, he may push himself into a mistake. That's what Dowd's got to do, keep that pressure on. Force him to make good decisions as they're working their way through traffic. That's sketchy. You never know how it's going to play out.
Approaching Charlie Bogart, gets inside him easily. The next one on his list is David Pingree, number 29, who took a third place last year here in Las Vegas, his best ride of the year. But right now, he's lagging behind as he's in danger of getting lapped by Ricky Carmichael. Meanwhile, Dowd is getting ever so close now to Carmichael. There's Dowdy on the blue bike.
That's going to give him a little bit of hope. You know, when you get caught and passed like that, it's a horrible feeling. You're thinking, okay, what can I do here? I'm already going as fast as I can. They're turning the fastest laps of the night. I know he's digging deep. Then he gets passed. But if you can stay close like that for a lap, you realize, well, maybe I still got a shot at this.
52.7 lap time for Carmichael with Dowd in second, Roncada third, Huffman in fourth, Barilio in fifth, Ramsay in sixth, Way in seventh, and Curry in eighth.
Dowd having a tough time working his way past Pingree right there. Nothing Pingree's doing wrong, just Dowd not able to get in the right spot. Finally gets around. He's got another Honda rider to work his way around. Lytle, who went down early.
He's approaching Casey Lytle. Dowdy getting by Lytle. Carmichael already by him. And we'll be right back as the 125 shootout from Las Vegas, Nevada continues.
AMA Supercross is being brought to you by Motorcycle Mechanics Institute. Quality training for the motorcycle industry.
Here's our leader, Ricky Carmichael, in the 125 shootout. A 3-second lead on the 125 West champion, John Dowd.
That time he went for the double again, Art. I don't understand why. He's got to keep doing that triple or he's going to give this thing to Carmichael. He got a little bit more space. You can see how hard he's pushing through the whoops right there. And that last lap by Carmichael was a 52.8, so the pace has slowed slightly. But I can tell you this, I have all the confidence in the world of Carmichael running 52.8s all night.
Are we watching right now a legend in the making?
Absolutely.
We talk about McGrath being a legend in his time, but Carmichael reminds me of Tiger Woods, knocking off Jack Nicklaus records all along the way.
Well, he's already closing in on the all-time 125 win record, and this is going to bring him that much closer if he can hang on. And, you know, that's one record he can break of McGrath's, and I think that won't be the only one.
What's wrong with Dowdy? Well, let's check in with Marty Reed.
These guys are turning in 52 and second laps. Is the fatigue factor starting to get to your rider, John Dowd?
Yeah, I think, you know, there's a big hoopla about Carmichael being behind him in the 125 class this whole year outdoors and stuff, and I'm sure that played the part, knowing that he was there. And it would have probably been better if John got a little worse start and maybe followed him around, you know.
Can he pull back, get him back?
I don't know, he's making some mistakes that are costing him pretty bad right now, so we'll see what happens.
He's getting ready to come by the mechanics area again, guys.
He's still solid second. Roncada in third. Perolio has just moved by Huffman into fourth.
The lead they have over Roncada is just unbelievable. These guys are clearly a level above right now. This matchup really meant a lot. You can see it because Roncada pretty much outplayed and outclassed Dowd, but he definitely smoked him in the heat race. And right now, Dowd is about 12 seconds up the racetrack. Big difference.
Ricky Carmichael. I wonder if it's any heavier with that number 1 plate.
Wonder if he may have walked up to the wrong bike when he's going back through the pits. Wait, that's
looking
right.
for his number, huh?
Yeah, number 1 now. And
Look
Dowd
at number 6.
He's closed the gap just a little bit now. That'll give him some inspiration, and it'll put the pressure back on Carmichael to think, you know, I tried to put him away here, break his spirit in these last few laps, and he's still there. That's the thing that Carmichael, I've talked to him, that worries him a little bit. He's going, you know, I know that guy will never give up.
Well, Carmichael would never use an excuse, but he got banged pretty good yesterday in practice. He cased it very, very hard, got pretty shook up. Now Dowdy's doing the triple, but he has to if he has any chance at all, as you see him passing Curry there before the whoop section.
He got fouled up trying to get past Curry in the mechanics area, lost some more time, but then made it back up on the triple. He's got to close that gap back up to Carmichael. As they go through the lappers, the lead fluctuates a little bit, and if he can keep closing that gap back up, and that's going to let Carmichael know it's not over.
Boy, what a mogul-like white flag is up as the riders are just on that blue mark all around the track. Ricky Carmichael, less than a lap away from going 9 for 9 on the 125 season.
He's got to be perfect here, Art. He's got to get through this whoop section up and back clean. He's got some lap traffic to deal with. Gets through there, no problem. Dowd's close enough to take advantage of a big mistake, but it'd have to be pretty sizable at this point in the race.
The first rider to sweep a regular season, but he's also ready to become the first rider to go through an entire 125 season victorious. Ricky Carmichael, he does it, and Dowdy right behind him. Quite a ways back is ROCADA. ROCADA will probably take a third, with Perolio still, I believe, in 4th. We will check that when we get back with the official finish of the 125 shootout from Las Vegas in a moment. The 1998 125 shootout is now history, and it's young 18-year-old Ricky Carmichael who takes the victory. His first shootout victory after giving way to Kevin Windham, and this is a touching scene, David Bailey.
Kind of anxious to know what was being said right there, but definitely a young kid going, hey, Dowd, you gave me all I could handle. It was close. The lapped riders played a little bit of a role. It kind of made it tougher for Dowd, but Carmichael definitely did what he had to do, made the pass for the lead, and held on.
Ricky Carmichael taking the victory with John Dowd in 2nd, ROCADA 3rd, Ramsay 4th, Perolio in 5th. And as we look at 6 through 10 in the 125 shootout result page, let's go down to Marty Reed.
Yeah, and these two guys are swapping stories about this great race. It lived up to everything that we build on it. What did you guys say to each other out on the track?
I just told him that he's a man, and don't let anyone say just because he's old he's deteriorating. That's the hardest I've had to work in a Supercross race. I mean, I gave it all I had, and he was right there. I could have dated away with some of the mistakes, but I mean, this guy's a great rider. He's from the East Coast too, so don't let him fool you. The guy's unbelievable.
Johnny, you guys were running 52-second laps. That was quicker than the 250s. I mean, lap after lap after lap. What was the turning point for you?
Well, I saw that I got by him on the start there and all the hustle in the first turn, and I knew he was gonna be going fast, so I was just trying to put my head down and charge, as good as I could. I could see him behind me. He was kind of inching up on me. I think I maybe a little bit nervous, but he rode an excellent race. He was just charging fast, and it was fun. At least I'm pretty happy that we stayed pretty close for the whole thing.
Pretty close. I mean, it was never more than a 1.5 second difference.
I know. I mean, this guy is unbelievable. I mean, if he would have been in the East Coast, I'll tell you what, there would have been some stinking good races, because his endurance is, one of the best. And 15 fast laps on Supercross track, like me and him battling, is just hard. It's different when you get out there out front, and we're both riding tense, and that takes a lot of it away.
Guys, at least we saved the best till last.
A new Suzuki standing chart to take a look at now. 125 career wins. McGrath 1991 through 93. His first 125 victory was right here in Las Vegas at a Kawasaki. 13 career wins for McGrath, 12 for Swink, Wyndham, Huffman, and now Ricky Carmichael goes into a four-way tie for second place in career victories, only 2 away from Jeremy McGrath. Let's go back down to Marty.
Yeah, we've caught up with Stephane ROCADA, and what was your perspective of that race? The start just didn't seem to go very well for you.
Yeah, the bad start, but that happens, and it took me a long time to come back to the lead. I had a hard time to pass those guys, and by that time, those guys were gone. So, I mean, I was looking at them, but I couldn't catch them, and they were too far away. So, I guess I rode pretty good. I was as fast as them. I just did my race, and it's too bad I didn't have a good start. So, I think I could have a fight for the win.
Congratulations.